If you drink the brown liquor, we are friends. And then he opened up the gate to everything I've done now.
But a lot of times they don't understand that success is a process, like you just mentioned. And school is a part of that process of discovering like what you're actually good at.
Correct.
What you can learn well.
And I wanted to start getting whiskey deals. Like, you know, people get PR packages. And I was like, how do people get this thing, right?
Yeah.
And I started reaching out to brands. I remember one day I woke up and I sent 900 emails.
900.
Yeah.
So we talked about the studio. We look forward to seeing what your first project will be using the content.
Oh no, I'm bringing buckets, and we gonna shoot. The hardest thing as a content creator is to have a studio on your own. No one can afford one, but if you can rent one for an hour or two.
All right, and we're back. Welcome back to the Content Parlor. I'm your co-host, Dion. You can follow me on all the social platforms at dion.api. Repping heavy, the Omaha, Nebraska, North Omaha side. Let's go this direction first. Build up some suspense. What's your name, sir?
Okay. Teddy Young. My handle. It'll be on the screen. But the artist Y. You can find me on Instagram. Yeah, that's my primary platform of choice.
That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. Before we introduce our superstar for this very unique episode, very flavorful, we want to invite everybody out there to join us on YouTube, where you can find the latest and greatest episodes of the Content Parlor. As you guys all know, those who've been watching the show, the Content Parlor is the social club for content creators. Everything you see on this set and more is available for rent today. Build your career with us. We want to help you get where you're trying to go with your creative content, and this is the place to make it happen. We've got a photo studio, video studio, podcast, storytelling, and even equipment that you can rent and take off location, which is new. We're going to get into some really, really exciting stuff that's going on this fall. But before we do that, let me take it over to this direction here, to this gentleman. We got some flavors on the table. We've got, no leaning yet. We haven't sipped anything yet. But introduce yourself. How can people tap in with you? And what do you do for a living?
I'm Jack BeguEdoU, insurance agent, content creator, whiskey educator, and a dad when I wake up.
Okay,
right?
Respect.
Yeah. Yes, I'm known in the whiskey spheres as the Hood Sommelier, which is HOOD, sommelier like a wine sommelier, SOMMELIER, and Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You type Hood Sommelier, I'll probably be the first person that appear.
Okay.
Right on.
So pronounce your last name again. I want to make sure you get it right.
It's BeguEdoU.
BeguEdoU.
Yeah.
Okay.
BeguEdoU. So Jack BeguEdoU, most people who knows Jack BeguEdoU in Omaha, they know me as the insurance guy.
Okay.
But everywhere in the world, everybody that knows Jack BeguEdoU probably knows me because they're sipping on something. I told them how to try something new.
Okay. Yeah. That's respect. Cool. Well, yeah, thanks for joining us today. We're going to get into some whiskey conversation as well. I got to finish out my water. You gotta get the palate ready. So yeah, I want to pass it this way. Let's figure out who we got here today. What is going on, man? This is such a unique episode. I don't think we've ever done whiskey before.
No. When I first met Jack, I think when I was introduced to you was, I don't know if I knew you as an insurance guy.
Insurance guy, probably.
That was the first.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Okay.
Because you build our platform.
Okay.
For Sommelier Insurance Group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's the platform you worked on first. So that's how we met, and then I came and talked to you about maybe doing the best. I've been creating content for over 7 years now on Instagram and other places.
Right on.
But we met in other situations, but not necessarily on a professional level.
Yeah, for sure. And I checked out your page. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Hood Sommelier. So tell us about that name.
So it's a weird thing that happened. I only got into spirits because I started making big boy money. So 15 years ago, I got an insurance, and connecting with folks, it's fine, well, our folks. But then you start getting to certain demographics, and you got to take on new hobbies to be able to find new clients, i.e. golfing, or now pickleball is the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But golfing was a thing then, and my mentor at that time told me, he said, you want to network with people, you want to diversify your view of the world. So try new things, right? So on a golf course, I was horrible. I dig. I'm a grave digger. I just make holes everywhere. But at least in my culture, I was born and raised in Africa, came here when I was 20 years old. The best way to introduce yourself to strangers is bring something for them to drink. All right, so I always bring good spirits. But they kept calling me back. Apparently, they love what I bring in. But then I realized spirits became a social cue to connect with others. But everywhere I went, when I look at my competition, they will always have this conversation about what the person ordered, how special it was. And I'm like, as a black man here, how do I set myself also to have these type of conversations? Do I start getting curious, really, about just going on the internet, trying to find new things? But after a year of doing that, I've realized that no one neither looked like me or sounded like me that told me about whiskey. The best advice my mentor ever gave me is, if you want to succeed in this life, find a problem and fix it. And the problem was, no one like me was talking about whiskey. Everyone, when you seen a brother or sister doing anything that's spirit related, it was always Hennessy, it was always vodka, it was always what the marketing gimmick that is catered to minorities. And I wanted to break that stereotype. So at that time, actually, I was moving in the hood, right on 30th Street here. And, my friends would always say, you're like a whiskey sommelier, but we have to travel to the hood to come see you, right? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm the hood sommelier. And as an immigrant, I've always colonially always seen the hood as a bad thing. By moving in, I realized that the hood is not a bad thing, right? From the doctor to the crackhead, everybody's in the hood. So that's the type of community I wanted to create. So I wanted to teach whiskey from the doctor to the crackhead. You all come in my in my hood. So I am the hood sommelier, and being a French guy, I wanted to choose a term that say expert in something without actually really saying expert in something. Make it a little more difficult for people to say it. So,
but just to be clear too, whiskey is no slouch. We were just talking off camera about how popular it is. What's the significance of whiskey as a drink in America?
Whiskey as a drink in America is interesting, but to explain it, you also have to understand. Whiskey, the term itself, comes from the Irish Gaelic ushkaba, which means water of life. Right? Now, remember, whiskey was never made to be consumed. It was made to heal the spirit.
What?
That's why it's called a spirit.
What?
Right? So it was made to heal people. In the old days, people would make condensate, fermentate, and create something that people that came from war will either numb their inside or numb the outside to be able to heal you. It was monks that were in the church, in the basement, in all those caves that were making those now physicists, as we know it, that were making things that will heal people. It only became easy to consume because it was supposed to numb the spirit from all the heaviness that the word put on you. Wine was a drink of choice, right? Wine was what you celebrated with.
Right.
Then as he went, it grew to become something cultural, move on through Europe. But everywhere you go in the world, anything that have been distilled, everywhere in the world, have a definition that correlate to whiskey. If you go in Italy, you have aqua vitae, which also in Latin means water of life. You come to France. Before they make cognac, they make eau de vie, with literally eau de vie, water of life. You go to Africa, You see what they call kutuku akpeteshi, which is all the moonshine, is also called, all definition of them all comes to water of life. So this is the water of life, right? That's what whiskey is.
Dang.
Now it became more of a professional thing now when we come, remember, we are a young continent.
For sure.
So everything that is whiskey in America came from other migrant people, the Irish that came here,
Was
the
fusion.
German that came here. Those people took their skills of what they're making ushkaba from their places when they migrated and created too. It was never just something that just happened here.
Right.
Now, if you go through history, long story short, the French moving through, going through the Bible Belt. Then you have Alabama, you have New Orleans, Kentucky. The culture become more popular. Then we have the Bourbon family, which become now the national, right? Only America can make bourbon, right? No one can make bourbon. You can make the same thing everywhere, but only in America we can call it bourbon. We own bourbon. That's the national drink of the United States. No one else can make it. But if you expand through, you will hear the history around bourbon, how they will take barrels from Kentucky, Pennsylvania, all the way to New Orleans. We're coming to the square of New Orleans. So when you hear about the Sazerac cocktail, that's a result of the French culture and the New Orleans culture. That's slave culture, right? You go on into the Vieux Carré. That's people's favorite drink. People call it Bouc Carré, but the Vieux Carré, I mean the old square. That was the square where every merchant will come to sell their whiskey. So the American drinking history is divided into consumerism in the last 15 years, but more saloon and cocktail culture in the old days, right?
Man, I just got a whole lesson, man. I don't need no more college on whiskey.
Dang, the official drink.
Yeah, the official whiskey of the United States is bourbon.
Okay.
And there's literally a law
Oh, okay.
that protects that name in the United States.
Okay. So whiskey, bourbon.
I'm glad you asked. Whiskey is human.
Whiskey's
Bourbon will be a man. Right? Scotch may be a woman.
Okay.
Irish whiskey may be an Asian person. So when you say whiskey, you're literally referring to any spirit that have used a grain being distilled and aged in a barrel. That's it.
That's what
Doesn't matter where it is. So Irish whiskey, Canadian whiskey, Indian whiskey now, right? Taiwanese whiskey. Whiskey can be made anywhere in the world, but to have a specific name, Scotch can only be made in Scotland. You cannot call it Scotch if it wasn't made, bottled and mature in Scotland. Same thing for Irish whiskey. Japanese whiskey, you cannot call it Japanese whiskey if it doesn't follow the regulation. Countries own their whiskey. That's part of their heritage. That's part of their appellation. That's part of their taxes strategy to be able to retain that name for them.
Hey.
The same thing expands to most spirit. It didn't even start with whiskey. It started with other spirit. Cognac can only be made in the region of Cognac. Otherwise, it can be called brandy, but cannot be called cognac. Right? Champagne can only be made in the region of Champagne. Otherwise, can call sparkling wine, but cannot be called champagne.
Okay.
So people own those appellations because that's what keeps their culture, their tradition, alive.
Wow. So, because I'm a traveler. I'm an avid traveler. I travel every year, typically multiple times per year, and part of the joy of traveling is to experience other cultures. So you're telling me that I can travel without leaving the comforts of my hometown and experience other cultures in the way that they distill the alcohol and create these different flavors that take me all over the world.
First, I would say yes, travel, right? So I'm a avid. You see how they say you can lure kids with candy in a van? You can lure me anywhere with travel. You tell me we're traveling, I'm in, right? So I travel a lot. I used to travel for scenery. Because growing up in Africa, you see the world through TV, so you want to see things. So I want to see I want to see the Statue of Liberty. I want to see the Golden Gate Bridge. I want to see the Grand Canyon. That's what I used to travel for. Then I got in my 30s. Then I start traveling for food, right? So I would go places. I say, I want to go to the night market in Bangkok to try their food. I want to have street food in Bali to see what that experience is like, right? And now in my 40s, I travel for whiskey, right? So I go to places, and now I'm going to go see something. I'm going to eat something. But then I ask them, do you guys have a local distillery here? What is your spirit here? What do you guys make? And then that opens you to a whole different world of people, right? Because now they're taking you in the middle of a mountain somewhere where you guaranteed to feel like this is a new place I haven't been to. You're trying new whiskey, and you realize whiskey bring people from all places, no weird places. When I tell you, my next trip probably next year will probably in Lebanon to go find out Lebanese people make whiskey, which is a place in the world I would never think that they make whiskey.
Yeah,
but they
right
do.
on. That is like
That's
when I
pretty cool.
So usually, to come to your point, my class that I teach are usually called whiskeys from around the world.
Yeah.
So when a client hires me, the first question I ask him is, what are we going to do? And most people are like, well, I want to know it all. So I take people on a journey. I'm your captain. We get in that plane. Not only we learn the history of whiskey, but we start flying. So usually we go around 13 bottles, which are the 13 major places around the world that you can find whiskey. So when I do I call my grain tasting when my clients bring me in, I say, yes, I'm going to take your audience, your people, and people do it on a corporate level, on a regular. People do it at home. It's like a bunch of friends. Like, we want to learn. We start in Ireland, sometime all the way back even in Egypt, and we go all the way to the new country, which is the United States, right? And usually by the time we're done, you understand that the history of the world, to know the history of the world is to know the history of whiskey. Because all the wars, all the migration, all the oppression have created new whiskey somewhere else because of the people that moved there with their abilities.
Wow.
wow, right on.
Wow, that's powerful.
Okay, so you're talking about how you came up with the name.
My name, yeah.
Right, and then so at what point did did that turn into, like, you started this platform and content creation and creating a business out of it?
I didn't know first, right? It was just fun. It was a lot of fun. A friend of mine, actually, that is in the industry, she was more on the professional side, so she worked in marketing for distilleries and that.
Okay.
Reached out to me and say, I like what you do, but you need to polish what you do. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, you are a black man in a world that is very, very white, right? And growing with black people, but you want to set the example for others. And when someone that you respect tells you that, he makes you think. You're like, really? Am I holding any responsibility here? Right? And then it clicked. And the first thing she gave me as advice is, you need to go get educated. You are YouTube smart.
Okay.
That's what you are. But you are not educated. So the first thing I did is I stopped and I went and actually got proper education, which is a WSET. That's where you can learn how to actually the spirits. So there's different levels. That's why you become a whiskey sommelier, right? You learn every step from distillation to maturation to all kind, and you learn about any spirit. So from vodka all the way down to the most expensive whiskey in the world, you learn every single part. Because now, as an expert, if somebody take a bottle and put in front of you, by reading the label, you should at least have an expert opinion on what is in front of you, based on your education, the type of grain that was used, the maturation type of cask, and style of whiskey that it is. So that's one. Two, she also said, people will never respect you if your time is not valuable. And
that's a bar for the content creators.
Yeah, for most content creator, but as a whole. But yeah, as a content creator, then I was like, I don't know. I can tell you, I had imposter syndrome for the longest time because I just thought this was fun. Well, how can I get paid for something that I do for fun?
Yeah,
and it was weird at first.
Right.
I will tell you, to be very honest, I did this for 7 years, but only the last 3 years I can say I made an income off of it. Okay. And the reason why is because it took one person to show me, hey, I'm going to put you on this project. I'm going to tell you how much they're going to pay you. But after you do this project, you can tell me what you're worth.
Wow.
And after doing the project, I'm like, wait a minute. But he also took a very pivotal thing in my life. I went through a very tough time in my life. Things fell apart, like completely. Professionally, my career was just going sideways. Insurance wasn't working. Things weren't working. And I found myself without a job, without a home, without a car, and just trying to rethink in my whole life, right? And now someone reach out to you to do free work. All of a sudden now you go, wait a minute. When I had all these things, I did all these things for you, but none of you even said a thank you. Just say, oh, great. You built your platform to 50,000 people or whatnot. What am I gaining out of it? Then I change my tone by saying, when someone reach out, say, oh, thanks for reaching out, but it's going to be A, B, and C. Here is my rate card for me to be able to do this for you because I'm broke. And my broke ass is not going to be able to do this for you if I continue to just say yes. And quickly you find out who takes you seriously and who thinks you're just a joke or kind of one of those cog in their machine. Because PR and marketing agency will use free work every time. Right? They're just going to give you free shit. And once you get in the content creating, you realize that a lot of people work off of free shit. We give you free makeup. We give you free, perfume. We give you free whiskey, like me. We'll give you these free things, but no one is willing to write a check, right? No one is willing to write a check. We'll give you free food. Hell, we will even pay for your travel, but we're not going to pay you.
Wow.
So you quickly realize that you have to not only ask for what you want, but you have to also very much so willing to say no. And that's the hardest part, being a content creator, because you're addicted, right? You're addicted. You create content, people like it, you get the likes, the follow, and that. You're like, well, I can do one. Or even if it's free, at least I got the content. But you live in this denial. At least I got the content. At least I got the content. Then the bills come at the end of the month, and you're like, you got the content, but you ain't got the dough.
So you're telling me that the likes and the follows, that's nice, but
it doesn't. Let's be honest. The people that are making money, I tell every content creator, the people that are making money, the best content creator probably have more followers than them. The people that are getting paid don't have as many followers as you think.
Hey.
That's why I asked you that question for a reason.
Shout out, shout out Stable Gray, bro. Shout out Dion. Shout out Tara, Caleb, Jackson, Teddy. Real content creators making money with a lower number of followers.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. Ooh. Now the other part of that, too, I want to go back before we drift away. You talked about the grind, how many years you put in before you felt like, okay, now I'm doing this. Now I'm making money at it. A lot of content creators seem to think that it's a get rich quick type of thing. Like you could just be really dope and you just land this deal like in 2 weeks. Can you just for the folks out there to put things into perspective and they don't think it's just us saying this. What's the real grind? What is that process to go from like, okay, I decided I want to try to do this to, all right, cool, now I'm actually, doing this as a profession?
If you haven't cried once because you got fucked by working so hard on a content and it didn't give anything, you're not trying, right? That's one. First, I think TikTok is a platform that lied to folks about how to make money. Because monetization is on different level. And how can you play a game if you don't understand the rules of the game, right?
Okay.
Right? The rules on content creation is different for each niche. Okay. Somebody in clothing cannot Can I understand how I can do a deal in someone in food and beverage? We don't have the same niche, right? Somebody in cars, sports cars, I can't compare myself to that person because we don't have the same niche.
Facts.
People like to live vicariously to others and that they think is possible. Not true. Everybody want to see the baby. No one wants to talk about the labor pains, right? Everyone want to see the baby.
Right.
And the baby is beautiful because it's when people made it that they flex all the time.
Just to help people out, you're talking.
Correct.
People want the results,
The
but
result,
not go through the
the
process.
result. But most people don't understand that a lot of great content creators that actually have made it, right? Quote unquote made it, because I don't believe I made it, right?
Okay.
If I'm still making less than $25,000 a year in content creating, I haven't made it. But I don't work. What you see on social media is a tool.
Yeah.
Right? It's a tool. It's never the solution. It's a tool. I've listened to people on podcasts. I've talked to people on big creators. No. When they're not creating content, they're out there grinding, sending emails, deck proposals. They're literally going to event, meeting with decision makers. Why? Yeah, everybody, the whole, the fancy thing last 2 years. Get ready with me while I go to this event, right? Get ready with me. What you don't know is if you stand next to those content creators, they're networking. As a matter of fact, that's what created even beef between content creators. Because you all both want the same opportunity and somebody snatched someone to talk to in front of you, right?
I've seen that
But
happen.
you are grinding. So let's not let social media fool us. That's why people have representation, because you can be a great content creator, but a terrible business person, because at the end of the day, what gets you paid is the business.
Yeah.
No corporate person or no person is sitting in their desk thinking, oh my God, that's a beautiful transition that you made on that video.
Never.
I should
It's
actually
never been said.
pay you $3,000 more because of that. No.
So true.
ROI always. They're looking at the return on investment.
Yeah.
So if you are not asking yourself, what am I worth to that brand to do a brand deal with me? You're asking the wrong question. I don't care the amount of materials you have, how great of a video you're making. I know content creators that are literally, they make content
Shooting
that
it with their cell phone.
but I'm saying they make content that make me go, I'm a baby content creator.
Right.
Those transition, those quick cut and all that, I'm like, whoa. But guess what? That brand they're posting about, that brand wrote me a check, but you did it for free.
Oh.
Right? So somewhere that saying no, start with, is this true? You have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself. Practice make perfect, right? Anything you do, speaking, creating content, you have to be at a point where you practice make perfect. Practice make people understand your authenticity. Like, oh, this guy have never changed. He's always been the same thing. We know what he's about. Practice create popularity. You got that. Now that you got authenticity, popularity, and a platform, now you ask myself, how do I monetize that? Everybody think first, oh, I need to monetize this, but don't ask how. Don't build the first one first. So you got to grind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So pause on that for a second. First of all, he said everybody wants the baby, but don't want to go through the labor. All right. Shout out the baby, man. The baby, great rapper, man. Shout out the baby. We love you, man. But a lot of people want the baby and they don't want to put in the work. So I respect that. How did you get to Omaha? You said you were born in
West Africa.
West Africa. What part of West Africa?
Togo.
Okay, Togo.
So French is my first language.
Okay,
English
okay.
is second, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I kind of hear your accent coming through. Okay. So you arrive here. What brought you to specifically Omaha?
Bellevue University.
Okay. So
Shout-
education
Shout
brought
out to
you.
Bellevue
University.
University.
Hey, this dude ain't playing.
70% of Africans that got that land here in America all came because of education. You have to understand Africa is a continent. For most, especially the French-speaking countries, we are trained to be to be extrovert, to be ready to hit opportunities. We know how our university goes. In the early 2000, Bellevue University actually had the most diverse staff of all the university actually in the U.S.
Oh, really?
Because of the Air Force that was there.
Yeah.
Every single person that was at Bellevue either had an Air Force background or was at least a bilingual.
Okay.
So
Now Teddy, you're a Bellevue.
Yeah, that's what
Alumni.
yeah, I'm a Bellevue alumni too.
Yeah.
And
So, I hear you over here
Yeah,
saying,
when
yep.
yeah, no, but
When they first started
when I started
program.
in the early 2000s, there was so many people taught bets. There was the first between the 6 advisors I knew at Bellevue, they all spoke total probably about 20 languages. So as an international student, when you were coming, you didn't feel like you were out of pocket.
Yeah.
You literally felt like home. So when you go to the embassy and you look for schools, first of most people that are coming to the U.S., you come from a poor country. Your parents are grinding to get you here. You can be on the Sun Belt, right? So California, Texas, all that, unless you have family. Those schools are too expensive.
Yeah.
There's a sun like in Africa, but you can't live there, right? You can't be on the cold belt either because they are prestigious universities, New York, all those places, but the cost of living is not only high. Those universities will not take you with an international degree unless you come in with a master's degree. You want to stay in the Midwest. Cost of living is low, university are affordable, and you can still lowly grow. So if you look at most places that have international students, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota, Kansas, Minneapolis, those places have the majority of all students.
Man, that's a gem.
Then you actually, you come in and, I came for school. I was fortunate. My daughter now is 18. She's in college herself now.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
So
Did
I had a
something
kid pretty young. Yeah, I did something right, and and craziest thing is also it's about finding your path because in an African culture or home, you only got 4 career you can go for. You can be a lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be an engineer, or a disgrace to the family. Those are the 4 things you can be in an African house.
He said disgrace to the
Yeah,
family.
so those are the 4 things you can be. So I started by being a computer engineer.
Okay.
2 years later, I stopped. I was fortunate enough to actually meet Anthony, my mentor, the person that brought me in insurance. And I realized I was good with people. I hated C++ classes. I didn't like coding at all. So I stopped school when I had my daughter, when she was about 3 or 4 years old. After doing insurance for 3 years, I realized I'm good in business and people. So I changed my degree to a business degree. So I have a Bachelor in Science of Business, minor in computers. But I found my way later on. And which is in everything I tell everyone, it's okay to find your way. There's no magic solution. Kids nowadays believe that. I sound old when I say
It's
it.
true.
But kids nowadays believe that at snap of a finger, I'll come, famous, YouTube famous, TikTok famous, and whatnot.
Yeah.
No, you can be viral, but not famous. There's a difference
There's
between
a
those
difference.
two.
difference.
Yeah, and we've had to learn the hard way. And Teddy was just talking about, he did the marketing and specialization in Bellevue University. I did not take that path. I took the computer path. I took the finance path and things like that, and had to bootstrap my marketing education through my other things that I was doing. So I really appreciate that because this younger generation doesn't understand that success a lot of times. Not all of them, but a lot of times they don't understand that success is a process, like you just mentioned. And school is a part of that process of discovering what you're actually good at.
Correct.
What you can learn well. Because we can be good at something, but not enjoy it. But then vice versa, we can be good at something, but
I think you're looking for passionate. Have a passion for
There
it.
we go. Thank you. You helped me.
That is me, right? I always tell people your natural ability to do something
Right.
does not determine, right, does not always determine your
true.
career path.
That's what I'm
But
getting
to
at.
be able to actually do something that you're naturally good at is a blessing.
Yeah.
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 That's a blessing.
Yeah. You nailed it.
And I had to learn that to go, yeah, computers probably would have paid me more than everything I've done in my career. But I don't think I'll be the guy in the computer room talking to everyone. Obviously, I don't belong there. Right? I should have known already
sit down
as
and
a
stop
kid.
talking.
Yeah, right.
What is he
When I'm trying to
Keep
code
talking,
something, you're
distracting
talking all the
everybody.
time, right?
Bro, you don't
but
belong here.
but I'm a theater kid. I'm a choir kid. Social activities make me happy.
Yeah.
So clearly, somewhere I was not meant. I do insurance in my sleep. People call me at 3:00 in the morning, ask a question, and I'm happy to jump in and explain to them why they fucked up by having liability.
He really got it
and
like
getting
that.
it. But if you put me in a place where I have to, I've tried it. I've worked in front of a computer for 4 years, and I'm like, I woke up one morning and just quit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
bump
what-
this. I don't like this.
So what's the connection then? Okay, you've got the social skills. You have your career. You've got before Hood Sommelier. You've got
I'm an insurance. Yeah, insurance.
You've
I
got
have a brokerage.
So how do you find this natural gift of really being a connoisseur of whiskey?
Like I said, when I got my education, that was the number one thing. It opened up my mind. I realized that I was just YouTube educated. Then it opened up my mind. Then I realized the other thing I started understanding was this is bigger than me. This is worldwide. So all these travels that I've done for scenery and all these things, no. I can connect with everyone now around whiskey. If you drink the brown liquor, we are friends. And then he opened up the gate to everything I've done now. So I decided at that time, not only I'm going to bring minority people with me that were not sure about whiskey, but I'm going to set the example. Everything I'm going to do, I want the next African, the next black person, the next black woman or minority person to look and say, if Jack can do it, I probably can too.
Yeah.
That's respectable. Very respectable.
So now I go around and I hone in my skills. Every opportunity I get to talk about whiskey, every opportunity I get to discuss whiskey, every opportunity I get to teach about whiskey, I take it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that, like what that looks like, those kind of opportunities.
So the opportunity usually is, I tell people, if you don't check your request DM, you actually are missing out on a lot of opportunity, especially as a content creator. Those request messages that come, half of them are probably someone trying to scam you. But the other half is probably somebody reaching out about something, probably someone you don't follow. That's one. Two, speaking of the grind, I remember when I wanted to start getting whiskey deals, like, people get PR packages. And I was like, how do people get this thing, right?
Yeah.
And I started reaching out to brands. I remember one day I woke up and I sent 900 emails.
900.
Yeah, I took 3 weeks to compile emails through LinkedIn and places of all these brand managers, brand marketer, and all the email was saying is, I'm so-and-so, I have this credentials, I have this platform, I would love the opportunity to be part of your PR messages and that.
That's
Out of
wild.
those 900 messages, how many of them do you think answered?
Let's see, 3% conversion rate, and then you got the
He's right.
response.
He's right.
60, 50?
Maybe 40.
Okay. That man said 900.
Yeah, 900. About a good 100 were automatically fuck you, right? But the 60 were more like, out of the 60, half of them were like, we got your email on file.
Okay.
The other half were like, oh my God, I follow you online. Would love to chat more. Okay.
Oh, wow. So someone already knew who you
So
were.
out of 900, 300, but I didn't even know those people knew. Right? But then I'm like, I'm going to push it further. How about I invest in going to every whiskey shows around the U.S. and other places and just going? Maybe it's going to cost me $200 for a ticket to get in. But then I'm going to start going to those brands. As I try the whiskey, hey, shake your hand, meet a friend. I'm Jack BeguEdoU. I run this platform. I would love to have you on my channel for us to talk. Really? Okay, here's my card. And I started doing that. For 2 years, I would go to every event. Hey, I'm Jack BeguEdoU. I run Hood Sommelier. Would love to have you on my channel to chat. You'll be surprised the amount of people that love to talk about themselves, just same way as you come, right? So for that, I started getting people on my channel. Then I created the Truth is Barrel Proof podcast.
Yeah.
All right. Then I bring people on. Tell me about your whiskey. Tell me your story. I want to hear more. What that created. Those people now, I know them on a first name basis. Which means when a whiskey's coming out, they're thinking about everybody else. They're like, hey, Jack. As that relationship grow, you push it further. Hey, we've been working for a while. I've been spreading the news about you for a while. I have this idea. I want to make this and that, some type of content. You know, I will need $1,000 sponsorship. Is it possible to do it with your brand? Some people be like, but it only takes one.
Right.
One person going, hey, yeah, I love the idea. Let's do it. I had this idea, African food. I'm an African. A lot of African cuisine are coming on the market. I would love to try to take whiskey and African food and bring in the same room. What do you think? Oh, we love the idea, but we don't got the money. We love the idea. We took one. So you go, yeah, Afrofusion is a good idea. We'll sponsor 3 cities. Now I'm on the verge to actually be at the point 2026, I probably have 10 cities where now we're going around and not only promoting something that is dear to me, right?
Yeah.
A culture, but also promoting education and bringing people together around spirits.
So what are some of those mistakes then, as you talk about working with brands? Like, what are some of those early things that you would say didn't work? Like, you talk about acquiring the email list and reaching out to these brands. Like, what, for those folks who are just starting off trying to get brand deals, what are some of the things they can avoid that you had to learn early on?
Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. Get yourself a good 2 to 3 good folks. Right? Good folks don't necessarily mean representation like a what do you call, like a lawyer or a PR group. No. People like someone like me who is willing to help you without needing anything back. That can introduce you to folks, because at the end, no matter what anyone's saying, I hate to use the expression at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how good you're doing this thing. It's who you know. I know people that are racking hundreds of thousands of dollars a month because of who they know. They are horrible at what they do. But because of who they know.
He said horrible.
Right? By comparison to people that can do the work better.
For sure.
But it's who they know. So somewhere, who you know matters. At the beginning, I wish I knew more people at the beginning versus trying to do it by myself. But as a black person, as a minority person, you're afraid. You hear so many no's at the beginning. You're like, hey, them people don't like me here. I don't. Second thing you want to do as well, be bold. Like, be dangerously bold. In the sense of, if someone knows your talent and go, Teddy, I want you to do something for me, you know in your mind that $1,000 will be okay. Be dangerously bold to say 10,000. What's the worst they can say? Too much. Can we come down somewhere?
Right.
There's no valuation in content creation. Never. Ever.
Yeah.
Being bold set the tone. I undersold myself so much. Now to ask for a budget of 10,000, the people are like, oh, you're doing too much. But that's because I just wanted an opportunity.
Right.
So I took scraps because it's okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the same people that are doing this thing are getting 3 times what I get paid.
That's true too.
So be bold, but don't be desperate. That's what I would say.
Right on. That's good. Okay. Now, out of
Y'all got me thirsty now.
okay,
Yeah, let's crack
yeah.
open. So before we talk about the whiskey,
Yeah.
your first brand deal.
Yeah.
What was that? How it came about? Is through the email, that initial email that you sent out,
No.
or how did it happen?
No, my friend brand deal was a handshake.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with email. My first brand deal was a friend of mine. What I give the idea of doing doing African food and whiskey as an idea. Mm-hmm. She knew a few folks in the industry. She sent them to them. I sat with her. She helped me. I didn't know what a deck page was.
You're right.
I built a deck page. I reviewed it. And she said, I'm going to send to a few folks we don't know. Mm-hmm. And all she says, as you go into these events, keep telling people about it. Mm-hmm. Almost make it, tell them as is a thing happening already.
Right on.
And when I did that, one of the guys that worked for a brand, when I told him that, he's like, this is a fantastic idea. My wife is from Ethiopia. I've always wondered why we don't do that. And I said, well, I sent it to y'all, but I didn't hear anything. He said, who did you send it to? And I said, he's like, dude, done. He's like, how much were you asking? I'm like, this amount? He's like, oh, done. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm going to talk to someone which I know has the budget, and they're going to make it happen. Shook my hand, gave me a hug, and he's like, done.
Nice.
That was my first deal to do a multi-city event with that. Then other brand hear about it.
Right.
Then they start reaching out.
So just gotta get that.
Now
get that one.
that's crazy though. They
Get
start
that
reaching
one.
out. Then you know you got something. When
Correct.
they're hitting you up.
Gotta get that.
Then
one.
every other deal now is more like, oh, we are pushing a product out. We want to fly you out to go do something. What's your rate?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
different, right?
Yeah. It's levels.
But most things now is more like, hey, we are doing this. We don't have a budget. Do you want to do it or not? Oh, we are doing this. We paying for travel and hotel. Right. We're doing a stipend daily of $250, $300. You want to do it or not? Or now it's more like, hey, we're going to do a product. We just want to. Now the conversation is more like, oh, here, what is your rate card? Let's see if you fit in our budget. But it started in combination of now reaching, over 50,000 people on Instagram,
right.
over 20,000 on YouTube. Then now people are reaching out to me because they already know, because they already talked to a few people that already probably told them, you need to pay me. So by the time they get to you, but it took me to actually say no so many times.
Right.
I think at least once a week I have to say, oh no.
Yeah.
Even though I really want to. Like the
Right.
kid in me, the nerd in me is like, I can fly myself there. I want to go do this.
Right.
No. I say no. I just do no and no. And you say no and you stand on it. But you say no and say, hey, if this condition and this condition and that. Now the one tip I'm gonna give every content creator. Now I can do it because I'm already way deep in, so I can't have that. But as a content creator, when you start immediately, let's say you are Joe Schmo, the content creator. When you create that Joe Schmo, the content creator at gmail.com, I need you to do one thing immediately. Create Joe Schmo management at gmail.com immediately. Why? When a brand reach out and tell you something, your immediate response to thank you for reaching out. Please send this proposal to my management at joeschmomanagement at gmail.com and they will make arrangement.
Dang.
Why? He set the tone with the brand immediately.
Perception.
One, he ain't just Joe Schmo. He have representation. Two, we are talking about deal now. This not just him, just not a phone call. This not just reaching out. Three, how much is this going to cost us? Is this guy bigger than what we thought he was? Before they actually reach out. What's that going to do? Is even if you are low, you don't have high numbers, that set the tone for them to go and immediately talk to a lawyer, friend of yours probably, and say, hey, write me just a vague contract of engagement. To talk to me, my time is even $50 an hour, and in my contract, you can only fly me plus or first class, I can only come at this time and this time. I can do this. All the things that are dear to heart to you, and just park it. Do those things, park it. Once the opportunity come, you wish you had those things already.
So
That's good.
nugget. So what do we got here today as we crack these bottles open?
Today I brought you the American spirit, bourbon. This is bourbon from Kentucky.
Okay.
So Kentucky produced is the most known place for whiskey. But bourbon can be made anywhere in the U.S.
All right.
This is an 8-year-old whiskey from Old Louisville in Kentucky. It's 50% ABV, which is 100 proof. So ABV times 2 equal proof.
Sheesh.
So alcohol per volume times 2 equal proof. So this is what you call an average whiskey.
And this is the collectible that you mentioned.
Yeah,
right?
so this is Old Louisville made a bourbon that you can collect, which he created the word Kentucky with each bottle, and pretty much if you actually get it, you actually can have every single bottle. But I like him because he's an immigrant that came to Kentucky and he's from Tunisia, and he became, he married he married bourbon, and now he created the Old Louisville distillery, and he's as more Kentuckian as more than an immigrant. So people from anywhere can make whiskey.
Right on.
Well, this is a very smooth smelling.
Yeah.
whiskey
So the
just
three
right
things
out.
you do when you try any whiskey or bourbon, first thing is, if you want to look like an expert, right? First thing is you nose the whiskey. It's called nosing the whiskey. Okay. You pass it from left to right, almost as if you're saying hello. Right?
Okay.
Left to right, you nose the whiskey. What that does is actually it acclimates your nostril and your brain to what's coming up. Right?
Okay,
So
okay.
that's where when people nose the whiskey, they will say they're getting something sweet, something spicy, or whatnot, right? As an expert, that's how we would describe the whiskey.
Okay.
The second thing you do is you watch the whiskey. So you look at the whiskey around the glass to see the color of the whiskey. And the reason why is because people think it's just to see what the whiskey color look like, but in reality, it's because of what's coming down right here. Those are called the leg of the whiskey.
Okay.
So the legs actually determine proof and viscosity.
So not what's on the bottle, but what's-
skinnier leg, right? What I actually say is higher proof.
Okay.
Fatter legs that are coming down quicker tells you is a lower proof.
Okay.
And it's also tell you the viscosity of the whiskey.
Okay.
What I tell people is when somebody hands you a whiskey, please just don't shoot it in the back.
Right.
The first thing you do is you take a little tiny sip just to acclimate your mouth first. You're not tasting it. You just want to warn your mouth that this is still alcohol.
Yeah.
So you got to warn your system that a few things are coming around.
Yeah.
Right. So you take a little tiny sip
Okay, let's do it.
and you pass it around your mouth, just to tell your tongue, hey, we got stuff that's about to come.
Yeah.
We are getting ready to actually. You're not tasting anything yet. Now the rule is simple. When whiskey comes into your mouth, because alcohol and your esophagus are gonna have a chemistry, when it hits the back of your throat, so you don't cough, breathe out. Right.
Well, I'm getting all kinds of
Breathe
tips
out.
today. Breathe
So
out.
be a pro.
The first there is the sip, the chew, you swallow, and you breathe out. So sip.
Okay.
Why do you chew? This is called the Kentucky chew. Chewing the whiskey actually get the whiskey in all your senses and tells your mouth exactly all the part that it needs to taste. Your palate start from the front to the back. So your palate have to acclimate itself with the whiskey.
Wow.
Somehow it tastes different.
It does.
It tastes.
It does taste different when you're
never
expertly
done that.
drinking it.
Never drink it like this.
So
Ever.
that's why I tell people shooting just your spirit does not help.
Right.
You're not doing it justice.
Yeah.
Whiskey is a conversation. So this pour right here, you can sit around, you can talk, have a conversation,
Right.
have another sip, sip, chew, swallow, and really enjoy the spirit. You don't have to take the whole thing immediately.
Yeah.
A 2 ounce of whiskey should last you an hour. It's about conversation.
I like that.
That's classy.
Right.
Now there's a clear connection between whiskey and cigars.
There is a cultural and social connection, but there's no immediate connection.
Okay.
There is
let's clear
connection
that up.
between rum and cigars,
Okay.
but not whiskey and cigars.
Okay.
Because let's think about tobacco culture. Those come from South America. What they have there is rum.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay, that's definitely
Okay.
true. Yeah, because their drink of choice. I was
Correct.
in South America. That's
So,
definitely.
so you also have to understand the nicotine in tobacco. To eradicate the nicotine effect, if you're having a cigar and that is hitting you, if you take a chocolate, some Coke, something that can kick your insulin up, the effect of the nicotine will go away. Rum is sweet.
Yes.
So, or Cuban coffee, very sweet.
Wow.
So when you actually have a cigar and you actually take,
with rum or
depending on where you are in South America, some people are having coffee in the morning with their cigars.
Yeah.
Or they're having a really rum drink, sweet drink with cigars. It became when tobacco or cigar culture came in Europe and America, rum culture was not growing that fast. So you have to have a substitute. So now people are like, oh, I can take my whiskey and pair with cigar. In reality, if somebody asked me, what will be the first thing I'll pair with cigar, it's not going to be whiskey.
not gonna be.
Interesting.
On the line, it's going to be rum, cognac or Armagnac. These are all very high sugar content spirits. A cup of coffee before I go into
A cup of
and-
coffee
and-
before you
yeah,
get to that.
with a lot of sugar in it
Right.
before I get to whiskey.
This is very insightful because you start to separate from amateur to the pros.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
A friend of mine smoked cigars, love cigars, love cigars. And obviously he's in Africa, so he was sitting around people that will always have like something very sweet with cigars, but they don't know why they were doing it. And he always tell me, he's like, oh, I just like to have this, sweet cocktail, fruit cocktail with my cigar because it tastes better. And I said, that's not why you're having it. It goes all the way back. When I told him the history, he's like, oh, there's no way. I said, I can give you something else that we can do with cigars. That will not be that cocktail, but you'll feel the same way, if not better. He said, no way. I said, okay, meet me on my porch at 7 a.m. in the morning. Oh, no, I never smoke cigars in the morning. It's just crazy. I said, do you want to do this experiment or not? He's like, oh, I want to do it. I said, okay. So he came. I took some Nescafe, the powdered Nescafe.
Okay.
Took a thing to it, just grinded it. 3 big spoons of sugar. Grind the whole thing to it's become like froth. And skip it, pour some milk in it, and some hot water, raise it up to just an espresso cup. And we sat there, lit up the cigar. Took a sip. That man finished his whole cigar, and he looked at me and he go, do you know I never finished a cigar in my life? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, usually when I get to the 2/3, I'm done. But this is the best I felt ever having a full cigar with that. And I said, sugar, coffee, there you go.
Wow. Yeah, that's very, very good to know. Because I've always wondered that. It's like, what is the obsession with these drinks and these
It's
tobacco
mostly
products?
marketing. But
Yes.
rum and cognac and Armagnac will be the first.
It's a
I would
better
suggest.
experience.
And there was this big viral video one time of Schwarzenegger, because he smoked a lot of
Yeah.
cigars, that he took some rum and he rubbed it on his cigar and he lit it and started smoking it. to bring some sweetness. There is actually people that create those environments where they age your cigar in whiskey barrel or rum barrels. So you can get that sweetness that actually is in your cigar. And obviously, the world of cigar, I can't even claim to know anything because the expert in that field, when I go, I'm learning from them.
Right.
We talking from sweet to different wraps to, it's a whole different world that is fun. But because I'm in spirits, I'm adjacent to cigars, to food, and sometimes to activities that I'm like, I guess with, spirits bring all those activity in one room. So I'm there. So I will learn a little bit about everyone around to the point where for the longest time, I didn't want to have cigars because I judge whiskeys. So I'm always afraid that cigar smell is going to stay and mess with my palate. Then I had to learn from another expert how you prep yourself to actually get rid of all the cigar smell and adjust your palate. But it took learning too.
Very cool. So we'll do a quick internal question. So right now, the content parlor is expanding. And one of the things that we're doing to expand our brand is we're launching a conference. The conference is this fall. It's called the Parlor Awards.
Okay.
The Parlor Awards it's an extension of the Content Parlor, so it's a part of that social club. But we want this to be a regional, if not national, attraction here. And we see this celebrating content creators, celebrating the folks that get overlooked for the hard work that they do. We're doing it here in Omaha, Nebraska. You're a content creator. You do this, right?
But I have to put a caveat, not to cut you off.
Yeah, sure.
That I need to take a second and thank y'all. Because there is a French expression that I have to tell myself every time I get upset about Omaha. Is on n'est jamais roi chez soi. You can never be a king in your own house. Because I feel like everybody, as a content creator, no one gives a crap about me in Omaha. I'm more known outside of, I get calls outside of Omaha all the time, but no one ever even invited me to anything that is content related.
Wow. Because
no one sees me that way. And when you even go knock at doors, people go, whiskey expert, what? And I'm talking about big names that you guys probably know, where you're like, I respect you in your field. How is it possible that you don't even see me as who I am when people all around the world actually know me? And I'm from, after 22 years, I'm in this city. This is my city.
For sure.
So I have to take a moment and thank y'all because this is the first time, right? Obviously in an African domain, they know me, right? I MC the Afrofest and I do the whiskey tasting there. People know me that way, but this is the first time officially I'm invited on a platform as not only a content creator, but an educator to actually speak. So shout out to y'all for doing your homework, right? Because a lot of people don't do their homework.
Yeah, that was a no-brainer.
Correct. But you say no-brainer, but if I go today and I walk to a place and I go, hey, Teddy, the content guy, you'd be like, who's that guy? We have that problem in Omaha. We don't recognize our own talent. We wait till the talent leaves, then we claim them for our city.
That's true. That is very true.
Teddy, I promise you, is when you're gonna be somewhere in Atlanta or Hollywood doing something, and you say you're from Omaha, everyone in Omaha that will not even give you an opportunity to do some with them will claim that you're from their city. And it's unfortunate. So I just want to take a moment and tell y'all that I appreciate what you're doing because more people need to be here. More people, we have good talent in Omaha.
Yeah, facts.
Great content creators.
We do.
That get looked over all the time.
Yeah.
I talk about Kevin. You guys said Bucket. Kevin just came from France, right? He just went to Paris. These are people that are, and minority content creators that are respected in their field, but no one pays attention to them.
Yep.
So thank y'all. Thank y'all, because that award, you can continue what you're saying, but I just want to say you guys are doing your homework. And as far as I'm concerned, however I can support, I will support, because people that fight the good fight are what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for the flashy people that just want to look good on paper.
Yeah.
People that are actually fighting for the folks and, doing the work to know what do we really have as talent in the city.
Yeah.
That matters.
Respect. Obviously, your first ballot invitation to the Parlor Awards as
I'll
well.
be there. I will be there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So y'all heard it here first. We got our first commitment on camera at the Parlor Awards. We will be celebrating content creators, not just from Omaha, but from the Midwest. The Midwest as a whole, I feel, is vastly overlooked. We got people in Kansas City. We've got folks in Omaha. You talk about Cameron Logsden. Was just on, was it The View? Yeah, I mean, doing very, very big things. Shout out Bud Crawford. By the time you guys see this, he'll be coming off the fight victoriously. I'm gonna just go ahead and speak it into existence. So shout out to Bud Crawford, who also is evolving into a content creator. So we got to get him on the show. But as we just look at all of the landscape of that, there needs to be a place. And as the job marketplace is evolving and is shifting, and content creating is becoming a career field for people, and people having the license to create their own media outlets, their own news, their own narratives, we need a place where people can talk about all that's happening as it changes quickly. And the Parlor Awards is the place where that will happen. So we look forward to seeing you guys there. Just wanted to put that little prelude in there. Where we heading next?
Make sure you let me know. Maybe I'll talk to a few brands.
Okay.
For them to be represented there.
Yeah. Where
we create, since they're going to be mostly content creators, I can start pitching it to a few whiskey brands, for the adult beverages.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that, depending on where you're doing it, since I know rules around spirits, to make sure that we have some brands that maybe can sponsor, and make sure that all these content creators that are coming. And if you have the deck, I would definitely push it out to a few distributors in the city and go, hey, this is coming. These are all going to be content creators, even if it's just swags.
Yeah. Making
sure that their swags are there for people to actually have, and maybe put a little bit of money behind it, so we can actually make sure we are.
Well, there we go. Glad I mentioned it.
Yeah, there we go. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's again networking. That's really all it's down to. No
It
one really
really is.
cares. What you know is who you know, and who can do the work for you. Yeah.
Well, I want to personally thank you for joining the podcast today. This has been more special than I thought it was going to be. I learned some stuff. I thought I was going to be asking the questions, but I ended up getting asked some questions about what I'm supposed to be doing better. Yeah. So thank you for the drink, as we say in the hood. And any closing remarks?
No, this was a great episode, man.
Yeah,
Dropped a lot of gems for content creators. There's just a lot here. Learning about whiskey, bourbon, and then just content creation, the journey, what it takes.
Yeah.
What to watch out for, what to do.
My last tidbits to everyone will be, it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I had to learn it. There'll be mountains and valleys. It's okay to make mistakes, especially content creation is people's business, right? It's people business, and you're not perfect. You're human. You, excuse my French, but you're gonna fuck up sometimes.
Yeah, that's facts.
And it's okay. It's okay. By the time I had to remind myself that I'm not perfect, right? Hell, I have an accent. My English is not the perfect one. Sometimes I will even create content where somebody will reach out to me and go, you're missing an E in that word. I say, hey, y'all gotta take it. It is what it is. It's already out there.
Right.
I can't. But it's okay to make mistakes. It's not a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes dedication. But most of all, it takes passion. To do what you love every day is what kind of propulse you ahead of everyone. So just take your time, keep honing in on your craft. You'll never get it right immediately. It's gonna take time. So it's okay to make mistakes. Keep fucking up. Eventually, you're gonna get it right.
Like we're gonna clip that. Now,
That's solid.
And just to close out, we talked about the studio. We look forward to seeing what your first project will be using the content.
Oh no, I'm bringing buckets, and we're gonna shoot my. There's a new whiskey that's coming up. They want me to actually talk about their 10th anniversary of the whiskey coming up. So I already signed a contract. They send out products.
Nice.
So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna come with bucket, and we're gonna shoot. I have already the idea, but now looking at the local, I'm gonna actually use in the studio level, so we can actually see what we can do.
Yeah, we're gonna roll the carpet out for you. So,
I
and that's
appreciate
for everybody out there as well. You book this studio, you get the finest treatment.
If you have not seen this studio, you just need to reach out and come see it, because once you see it, the ideas are gonna flow. The hardest thing as a content creator is to have a studio on your own. No one can afford one, but if you can rent one for an hour or two, get your stuff done, you can build that in your content creation. I usually build between the photographer space and that. I always bill $500. No matter what, I always bill $500 for that. Even if the photographer say an hour, I'll take $100. I still bill $500, because if I have to rent a studio and that, so it's part of my fee. So if my fee is $1,200, it's $1,700.
You already
They're like,
account
oh, why?
for it.
Yeah, I always tell them, because I don't want to think about that part. I know what it takes. Sometimes you just even have to rent a space. So if you go to somebody's space and say, oh, I like this place to create my content, everybody like when you say, hey, I have $200 for you to rent this place for an hour, people appreciate that versus trying to kind of nickel dime your way through and ask for a favor. The season of favors are done. Start offering people money. I don't even care if it's a dime. Say, hey, I got $2. I need this. Can you help me? Yes or no?
There you go.
So
I love that, man.
Woo! Man, he just keep dropping that fire.
Yo, this was a special one. Like I said, I'm gonna throw down this last little swig, and we're gonna see y'all in the next episode. Cheers to Hood Sommelier.
Cheers to everyone.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
You have a good palate.
I mean, you got me ready.
Yeah.
You got me ready.
You have a good palate. So yeah, the notes of that are
now.
lowly cherry, cinnamon, a little bit of citrus finish in the back. Yeah.